Welcome everybody to the Culture Shock Podcast. This is your boy Pat Bayless, and I'm in the building with my co-host Zaria. She's in the building.
Hi.
And today we kind of doing like a little part two. We talking about a couple little things, but we got the very, very talented Miss Amani B is in the building.
Yes, hello.
How are you? How's everything?
Good, everything is good.
So since we last talked, you was on, what is it, On the Radar?
Yeah.
Tell us about that experience because we want to know.
Very different. Obviously, from what I talked about last time, it's this whole singing journey is new to me. So, I feel like it wasn't a crazy nerve-wracking experience. I feel like they made me feel really comfortable. But the whole thing, it was just crazy to even imagine that I was in the same room as Drake and who else was on there before that? I don't even remember.
There's
but
a
like,
bunch of artists on
you
there.
know, so it's just like,
major artists.
Yeah.
I feel like that whole moment definitely left a whole memory in my head that I will never forget. Definitely.
What's in front of you, like when you're singing? Like what's in front? That mic.
Cameras,
Mhm.
big lights. Like it's just me in the room. Then you got the photographer on the side snapping pictures, and then everybody's in like a different room. The producer, while he's like listening in and telling me, "Okay, ready, you go." So it's just like, you know, you could picture and try to play out how the experience would go. But, you know, when you're there and you got all these lights just there and they're like, okay, go. And you have to try to bring that same energy and then the music and how it sounds. It's difficult. I don't know how people really do it so naturally, but it'll take some practice.
That's how you did it. You did it like it was easy.
Oh my God, I still
like
nitpick
it. was
it.
fluent. What?
You think so? Thank you. I appreciate that.
Did
It
you have
was
like an
amazing.
anxiety attack right before?
Honestly, no. Like, we're in
Really?
the car. We was having fun. We were so excited.
good.
I was excited the whole time. The only time that I felt weird about it was after and kind of like close to when it would be released. I kind of was thinking like, oh, how did I sound? And then he sent the video to me like a day before. And I looked at it and I was just like nitpicking it. So that's the only thing that made me feel, you know, nervous or whatever. But the whole experience was exciting. It was exciting, yeah.
Zaria gave you a good response. What was the response like from everybody else that seen it, listened to it?
Honestly, everybody's response was good. Like, I was so nervous because people be going crazy in the comments, like, for people. And I know there was someone else's music that was dropped that same day, and they, like, tore her apart.
Really?
Like, tore her apart in the comments.
That's not
Ouch,
funny.
that's
I'm laughing.
scary.
That's not
So,
funny.
yeah, you'd be, like,
so I was
scared.
just really thankful that everybody had, like, you know, good responses. I don't even remember, like, a negative. I think the only thing that someone said was, like, how can I get on here? Or whatever. And I just put, like, a heart or whatever and laughed. They're like, oh, no, but you did good. I'm like, I could see that shade, that what you was trying to do
Yeah.
there. But people, you know.
But you commenting though.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say we're our own, like, you know, like our worst critics. So naturally you're gonna nitpick, but you did your thing, and the song
Thank
was
you.
amazing. Like I'm like soft, so I'd be like, good things make me cry, bad things make me cry, blah blah blah. I was tearing up.
Really?
Girl, stop.
She be acting hard, but she not. She a lover.
No,
The
I got
song
that from
is
the last
touching
time.
though. Like the
Yeah.
song. Come on.
Should we play
Is
a
it
little
out?
snippet? Should I play a
It's
snippet?
not.
or no?
Oh my goodness. Don't even get me started. Like, I feel like since we last talked and I was just like, oh, you know, I don't even remember. Was I like kind of confident in where I was going,
Yeah.
my path, or whatever? Yeah, and I still feel like that. But literally, I feel like after the podcast, after the On the Radar thing, he just like wham smashed me into another season of like just character, like, you know, development. So I'm trying to focus on the music, focus on my children, focus on character development. And it's just like, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I'm just trying to take my time. I have the song, but I'm trying to figure out how I want to roll out everything. And it's just a bunch of...
That's not easy to do.
No,
Like,
it's
that
not.
stuff is not easy to do in like media, all that stuff. It's not easy. Like even like with like our stuff with the clothes and stuff, that's basic pictures. But even that, you trying to roll it out and make it nice with a video. And all.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine putting the music, you know what I'm saying, onto it.
There's
I
so
ain't
much
gonna
to
lie,
go
I
with
kind of
it.
want to embarrass you a little bit. I kind of want to give them a little snippet of what it sounded like.
Okay.
Anybody that didn't listen to it,
Yeah, that's fine.
let's
They
see
didn't
what we
know
can
the
hear.
world is going colder. They pushing every button harder to stay sober. But I'm running that race and know I'm getting closer. I've been here before, but angels move the boulder. And I'm trying. I'm really really trying. If I said I was perfect, no, I'll be lying. Cause the truth is that I'm weak without the lying. On the verge of snapping news, got me crying. Baby's gone missing, Barbie's shining. And what on earth is going on with Biden? World is being covered up with violence. Sighing. I've been running out of patience, trust is timing. I know life can be so uncomplicated if you follow this road. And I've seen some crazy things that make the hardest of unfold. A world you can't see, they don't know. Just know.
Talking that
How
talk.
long did that
playing.
take you to put that record together?
Honestly, a day.
What?
Like
A day?
writing it took me a day, and then I went to the studio and I recorded it.
Mm-hmm.
That took like 2 hours. And
Really?
yeah, because I just, when I write music, it usually, that's just how I do like anything. I don't know why I'm like that, but I just, if I'm focused on something in the moment, that's what I'm gonna get done. So I knew that the On the Radar thing was coming up. So I'm like, okay, how do I want to make the song? What message do I want to put out there? And I just sat outside, prayed about it, which is the biggest thing because that's where my well comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And then, just do it.
You are cold. I'm not like I'm.
For real?
Yeah, you are cold. Did you have the beat? Did they give it to you or?
Nah, like I look up my beats on YouTube. I love me a nice YouTube beat.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a certain sound that I look for and everything. So I have a whole like playlist of beats that I could go back to, and that one I was listening to for a while because I like beats that draw you in because the beat really draws you
so
in.
good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Where do you
so
get
good.
that tone from? Like obviously you're a singer, but where do you know? I always find that interesting, like where people listen to a beat and they know what type of tone to put on a beat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you listen to artists, even maybe it's R&B, and you listen to like a love song and they have a certain tone and they have like a little bit more of like a upbeat with a different beat. How do you really feel that out? Is it just feeling the music
Yeah.
and the words you're reading?
It's just feeling the music. My producer, he said one of the things that like really sticks with me is like how music is a different language. So I really pay attention to like the words that I'm saying. So the melodies that you're hearing and you're like, oh, how do you get that tone? It's just the language of music. People, however you feel, like honestly, like right now, off topic, but I started getting into like classical music the last couple of weeks. And honestly, like I was doing my makeup and stuff with it, and I felt like a princess. You got the violins and whatever, but it makes you feel however the composer wants you to make you feel.
Literally.
Like I'm over here like sad and angry out of nowhere because I'm just like, because all the instruments is making you feel a certain thing, but there's no words. So yeah, I don't know. It's like a within thing. Music is everywhere, so it just comes from within.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's dope.
that's
really dope.
Even the words
just-
when you were like, the way you're saying like it came to you so easy, like even something as little like when you was like, sighing. That was crazy.
Girl,
Because that's how everybody feels.
But
And you're just talking and you're like
it doesn't
connecting.
come easy though. I didn't mean to say
That
like it was like an
simple,
easy
though.
thing.
I was like,
It's not. Honestly, I'm having like some serious like writer's block right now. Trying to make new music. So it doesn't come easy. I don't know. I guess just that moment in time, what needed to be said was off my chest, but no, it doesn't come easy.
I know it doesn't come easy, but in a way, like when you have something to say and you could put it down,
Yeah.
and what appears to be effortlessly and make it have meaning, make it have impact, you're on the radar. Are you kidding me? People need to hear what you're saying. I think that's why I'm so like taken back, because it's like you saying stuff that people need to hear, people of our generation, people of our culture, and people are going to be drawn to you because you look like us. We want to know, what are you saying? And then you say that.
It's on a big platform as well.
It is a huge platform. I was so nervous. I'm so glad I did it.
Now, you say you have like writer's block. You say, obviously when you talk about God, you talk about different things that bother you, right? I think all of us growing up have some type of anxiety, whether it be with certain things or things like that. But we also have things from our past and things from our life that have like either a residual effect or maybe some things that we're a little bit delusional about. So I kind of want to talk about that today
Mm-hmm.
with y'all. I'm sure everybody for the most part knows what residual means, but it's what remains after most of something is gone, right? And that's why they call it like the residual effect. Have you guys or do you guys still experience a residual effect of anything from your past?
Mm. Sorry, you want to take
I
it?
know. Sometimes I like, yeah, everything. But like, I really look
Mm.
back to my first year in college. I went away to study, and I got offered an opportunity at a law firm um, that a lot of people wouldn't have got. It was a black law firm. I should have took it, but I decided to come back home and go to Stony Brook. So sometimes I do feel like if I had stayed, sometimes I feel like this is the residual of me coming back home, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like it's something that I missed out on. So I guess
Does it make you feel less than?
sometimes because I could have been in different places. Not that I'm not in a great place, but like,
Mm-hmm.
what if I stayed type shit. But it's also with a lot of things, a lot of decisions you make while you're growing up. Like, no matter what, you had a choice, you made a choice, so now you're gonna feel the results of.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always hard on myself, so I'm always like, damn, I should have did this instead of that, or what if I did this instead of that? I'm never the type to be like, I made a decision and I'm sticking with it. It's always hard, so I don't know.
It's always that back and forth struggle.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to add to that because I think that resonates with me too. Like the residual of the choices, the wrong choices that I
Mhm.
make. I make a lot of wrong choices. So it's like, I feel like that's what I'm dealing with now is just thinking like, okay, like if I had listened earlier, did this or did that, or stayed away from that person or whatever it may be, you know, the residual of that, just thinking of where could I be right now? How far could I be right now if I had been obedient, had, you know, just a residual of that. I guess that
So it still lingers. You would say it still lingers. You said yeah. You'd say yeah too. It still lingers in the back of your head.
Definitely. I feel like there's like science to back that up,
Mhm.
you know, with anything that happens to us. It's always gonna leave a residual, you know, and it's an outcome on how you would how you are now, like what you go through.
Right. I asked that question because I feel like everybody does make choices. Y'all both right, and everybody kind of goes down the road of was it the right one or was it the wrong one. Some obviously are pretty blatant that it was the wrong choice. With you, I feel like I can't speak for you, but I feel like you made a choice, but you're still doing well for yourself. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I get that whole aspect of what if I took the job? What if I went with this girl, or what if I did that? So I definitely feel that. I've had my own feelings about residuals in my past, especially like in my early 20s, just not taking things serious with certain things. I had all up, not even an old head. It was my age that I'm now, looking at me at 21 and was telling me, "Yo, slow down, do it this way." Like literally laid out the blueprint, and I was like, "Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna still do it my way." And I still live with the residual effects of doing that, and I have to deal with people now in my life that I chose. You know what I'm saying? So I think it definitely can continue if you don't try to fix it. But I also think there's another side of it, which I call delusion and being delusional with certain things. For me, sometimes I overthink too much and it becomes something where um is it really like how she's saying it's hard to explain. Like how she's saying, her choices, right? I would say sometimes my choices I overthink like should I have done it, but regardless of that fact, I needed to learn that lesson. You get what I'm saying? So I'm constantly beating myself up, but I needed to learn that lesson because I was gonna do it. In my opinion, I was gonna do it regardless. Now you guys both are heavy in the Word of God, right? Um, is there anywhere in the Bible where it talks about that, where it talks about residuals at all, or any delusion within the Bible?
Yeah.
Like what's Okay, so that's funny.
Any stories, anything.
So give me the definition that you have of residual again. You said something that's left over.
Yeah, what remains after most of something is gone.
What remains after most of something is gone. I'm not even trying to get deep. I'm trying to like just think like what.
You can get deep. I mean, when I think of it, I think of Jesus, right?
Makes me think of so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like what remains after
the fish and
okay,
the five
I
loaves
guess
of
it's
bread.
okay. I guess it's like it kind of goes like with the whole Christian walk, right? So we're supposed to be dying daily. For those that don't understand what dying daily is basically just going against what your flesh wants, which is what kind of normal people do when they want to better themselves. They go against what their flesh wants, right? So the whole act of doing that every single day, dying to yourself, dying to the flesh, you're not only disciplining yourself, but you're also like losing relationships along the way. And there's so many things that you separate yourself from when you're walking like that. So I guess like the residual, like what's left over is the outcome. So we don't have to like look at it in a bad light, but like the outcome of you going against what your flesh wants and seeking that higher spiritual self. You know what I mean? But there's so many things with like residual and like what's left over. It's like a broad, even though it's like, it seems like a broad statement kind of.
Right.
I believe that even when you said like certain things about making, when we said certain things about making the wrong decisions and stuff like that, this life trips me out because it reminds me of like, I believe first of all that nothing that you do is going to be wasted. So whether you think it's the wrong decision or not, like we have choice for a reason. And I know that anything that happens in our life, like God's not going to waste any experience that we had with anything. So it's going to turn around and it's going to be for our good. But I heard a quote the other day and it said that detours, don't think of detours as a bad thing because detours help you learn your territory. And that was like it really resonated with me because it's obviously a lot of things, if you don't go through them, you're not going to know who you are, what character you gain from that, like the tools and the knowledge that you have because of that situation. So as much as you could say like, you like, what if I stayed in Florida and like something terrible happened, which could have been the outcome because I was having a bad time out there. So I also think God pulled me away from there for a reason. But it's just that you never know. But I don't think that it's hard. It's easier said than done. But it's like I try to not have regret about things, about the residuals. But yeah, nothing should be wasted. I think that's what the Bible does tell you, though, in a way.
What about like with your, they always say follow your heart and not your head sometimes, right? So what about in those situations when, I'll just go example relationship, right? In a relationship, you have residuals in your heart, you have scars in your heart, but your head is telling you to do something against, like you said, you don't want to go, you want to go against your flesh to get better, but your head is telling you to do something completely different, right? Than what your heart knows is right or wrong. How much do you think people kind of go with their head rather than their heart when it comes to the residual effects that people lead on to them? Friends, family, relationship, or trauma. Do you think more people kind of lead with their head nowadays than they do with their heart?
Yeah, it's easier.
Why? I want to know why it's easier.
Because like you said, dying to the flesh, like, why do I want to give up something that I like? And 9 times out of 10, the things that we like are not good for us. Why do I want to give that up? Why do I want to not eat this whole cheeseburger? It tastes good, but I shouldn't because I should be healthy. Like, you feel me? Like, we don't want to give up things that we love, but at the end of the day, when you go for the discipline and things like that, that's hard to get. If it was easy, everybody would have it. So it's definitely harder to not you know, to use your head over your heart or whatever.
I feel like, honestly, I feel like it's the opposite. I think people are led by their heart much more than their head nowadays. Everybody is going with what they feel. Which is so interesting and so funny because we all have our own human experience and perspectives. So it's just like, is what you feel really right? I don't know. I feel like I'm verging off topic.
Nah, that's a good question because that is a legit question.
Yeah.
Is what we feel at the time really right?
No.
Right.
No, it's not. It's based off of your experience, and I feel like it took me a long time to learn that. Because we like to look at things one-sided, and I'm still learning that. There's moments where I have to check myself, but like, two people could be right, and yeah, I actually was listening to a TED Talk earlier today on like feelings, and what was she saying? She was just saying how like we literally are in full control of our feelings, even though we try to. I know it sounds like it doesn't make sense, but like the science that she was using to like talk about it, like we make our reality, and I feel like that's where so many people kind of skip over in the Bible and stuff. They kind of look at the religion part, but that's kind of what he was talking about. That's what Jesus was trying to explain when he came down. Like, there's a whole kingdom in heaven, and you could live like that on earth, changing your perspective. But we're just so, I don't know, we're funny.
Would you call it wrapped up into society?
We're just
like,
I don't know. I don't want to say a mess, but we just like to act like we all aren't human and don't feel the same exact things. We kind of want to disagree with everything.
Yeah, I don't get this.
But I feel like since social media became such a big thing, I realized how similar we really are. Like, there's things that people would like post, and I think only I'm doing it. And I'm just like, first of all, like, I thought I was original, unique, and there's like people doing the same quirky, weird things that I'm doing. So we're actually really similar, and to kind of go off of your emotions isn't smart.
Yeah, it's definitely not smart. I think a lot of people are emotional, but then there's also the aspect of like, can you control your emotions? Like, we could decide off our emotion, but some people kind of can't control the back and forth, right? Because some people are lead with anger with a lot of things.
Yeah,
You
most
know what I'm
people
saying? It's like,
can't control their emotions. I can't control my emotions.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't want to say I can't. I don't want to say I'm one of those. I'm one of those. I don't want to say I can't, but like right now, the emotions be taking the lead, especially lately. Like, I don't know. It's just.
Where do you think that comes from?
The emotions, like,
yeah,
why
like where
I can't.
it's just. I'm saying where you're going through the I wouldn't say peaks and valleys, but just where you're going through that.
Where does it come from? I feel like I originated myself. Like, like I'm just, because we can't sit here and say like, oh, the emotion comes out of nowhere. Usually it's triggered by a thought.
For sure.
What are you thinking about? You know, so I could be fine. And if I'm thinking about, oh, I got to do this, I wish I had that. Now I'm annoyed, you know? So it's just like your emotions, it's not just comes to you like that. I mean, not for me, at least. It's usually triggered by a thought.
Yep.
So that's where mine comes from. I don't know.
How do you guys get out of that when it becomes an emotion that is like of sadness or anything like that? Do you guys have a method that you could tell people to get out of it?
Terrible right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I haven't been on social media because, listen, like, I'm a kingdom ambassador, you know? So if I don't got it together, I'm not about to sit here and be like, listen, this is what God has for you. Like, I'm trying to figure out like how to healthy find a healthy way to manage my emotions, but like it's kicking my butt right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Is it something in the air? I don't know.
Spring coming.
I don't know.
What about you, Zara? Do you have something that when you get angry or upset or anything like that that you use to? Cause so like I'll just give an example, right? Like music, right? When you sad, my advice would be like not listen to certain music. You know what I'm saying? Like that can also continue to trigger or continue you down a slope. You get what I'm saying?
I have an answer.
Go ahead.
I just didn't want to say it. My first answer would be to fix my thoughts, like you said, because and it's easier said than done. I know I don't have it all figured out. It took me a long time to like not be mad. So it's an everyday thing. You got to work with it. But the Bible also says like whatsoever things are good, pure, lovely, of good report, think on those things. So there's no way you're gonna 9 times out of 10 the thoughts come into your head because we're in the type of environment we're in. You have to change what you're thinking about. And then my real answer is
slap somebody.
What? No. I just need a stiff drink. And that's terrible.
A stiff drink terrible, is crazy.
But get home from work, put some ice in the cup.
Little wine. What's the drink of choice? Don't say Henny with the ice, cause that's crazy.
Nah, Henny with the ice is crazy. But I'm trying to find something different than tequila. But yeah,
shout out tequila.
You know, but yeah.
I also want to talk about delusion and being delusional sometimes. Yeah. So I'll just start off with asking y'all, just very simple, but have y'all ever been in, it doesn't have to be a relationship with like a man or whatever. It could be family relationships. Have you ever been in a relationship or been around people where your thoughts are really delusional about who that person really is when they're really showing you who they are?
Oh my gosh. Come on now. All the time. All the time. I'm the type of person that like, honestly, I want to say I'm the type of person that sees the good in people, but I'm reading you as soon as I walk in the room. Like, and that's kind of like a toxic trait of me because I'll think it's discernment. Like, I'm like, I'll look at somebody and I think it's discernment. I'm like, okay, you're off, but maybe you're just having a really bad day.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's wrong. So I'm honestly learning that, like trying not to judge off of what's it called? What's that called?
Character?
No.
First appearance.
It's non-verbal communication. Like
Oh, you judging.
No, I could really,
that's me too, though.
I really be judging people, and it's really bad.
You're mindful.
It's now, but like I really thought I was in the right. Like no, something wrong. My discernment, like no, but no, something might be wrong with them that day. And honestly, like I was saying, I've been into TED Talks too lately, and I was listening to one today, and he was talking about like how we misjudge people, like how we go off of the nonverbal communication. We look at the cues. We're like, okay, like this person is this person, whatever. But anyway, she was using an example of like these jurors who were sitting for the guy who did the Boston Marathon bombing. And they were trying to figure out if he was remorseful or not to, give him the death penalty. So he basically gave a straight face. So they're like, okay, obviously he's not remorseful. But the scientist was just like, the jurors couldn't be more wrong because maybe the face that he was giving was defeat. Like, I feel defeated. So it's like, you never know. You never know. You can't really judge a person. Yeah.
Sorry, you say you judge people, so
I just know that like I'm trying my best not to, because I realize 9 times out of 10 the things that I'm judging people for, and I don't like walk around judging people, but it really comes from like people in my family. Like I'll be looking at my siblings like, mommy taught you better than that. But at the end of the day, I'm really like judging myself by judging you. So like I'm putting a measurement somewhere. Yeah.
Because
like,
because she's basically like the standards that she has for herself, she's now putting that on you.
And that's not right.
Yeah.
And I be feeling
do
so bad
that
because me
too.
and my siblings be getting into it. And then it's like, but that's not what I mean. I just want you to be better. But it's like, maybe I should be better and shut the fuck up sometimes.
How y'all handle it? Y'all be yelling at each other?
What? Me and a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Me and my brother got into the worst argument.
Where?
I cried for 3 days straight. I could not
Right,
stop
for 3
crying.
days straight.
But it wasn't like because of something like so bad. It was literally an argument of like, I love you so much.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, but judging off shit like that back and forth. We're screaming at the top of our lungs. And it was like, well, forget it then. And I'm going to leave and go cry for the next 3 days. And that's how that went. But yeah.
I think that like being delusional sometimes with people, and sometimes you could set expectations, like you were saying, set expectations on people and think that they can be like that, and they don't ever reach the expectation that you had. And now you're sitting there, and thinking that they have that in them. And it sometimes people just don't have that.
You know what's so crazy? I was listening to Dr. Miles Monroe, and he said something that like stuck with me, especially like now, like learning people and stuff like that. There's a scripture that says, let God be the truth and every man a liar. And I live by that now. Like I cannot hold anyone to any expectation, because you're not going to meet it. Maybe sometimes, but like, no, we're literally all people. All of us make mistakes. And I'm not even going to sit here and try to make it seem like you could do something for me when you don't even. Yeah, yeah.
So what do y'all think the healing process is? Obviously, you pray. But when you do go through those feelings of delusion, or if maybe a relationship with somebody that you're close with, your brother, right? For instance, you have an argument and it bothers you. What do you feel like with what is the healing process for y'all? Is it something where you just pray on it and then you feel better, or is it something that, again, sits on y'all?
Sorry. What is the healing process?
Yeah, because like I know everything is different, right? Because every situation may be different. But I know for me, if something's really bothering me and I can't really speak to the person about it, I'm just gonna pray on it. And then after I pray on it, I'm just gonna take a deep breath, and then I'm gonna go about my day. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm not talking about something serious where it's like, all right, somebody just got diagnosed with cancer or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about just a regular day-to-day thing or somebody in your life where it's not sitting right where y'all at.
Mm-hmm. How do you heal from that?
Yeah, how do you heal, and what's the process y'all go through with that?
It might be a little cliche, but I think I'm like getting very good at putting myself in the other person's shoes.
That's good.
And then I literally make up several scenarios as to why. Like when I got into the argument with my brother, I was like, all right, well, he was doing this and he was trying to do that, and this is why. So I get it, but I'm still tight. But I get it coming from, the only way I could really do it is just try to see that person from where they are. And sometimes you got to bring yourself down. Sometimes you got to bring yourself up. Whatever it is, you got to meet people where they are. And I think that's what helps. Because along the lines of that, you have to find forgiveness for whatever it is you're going through. So being able to see yourself in different ways, it opens up your eyes to not just stick in your own head and be angry.
No, yeah, I agree with that. I feel like looking at people kind of like children in adult bodies. That's how I be doing it sometimes, because at the end of the day, like, you could pretend, you could act as sophisticated as you want. We all don't know what we're doing. We're just kind of taking it day by day. So it's like, yeah, that's how you kind of have to look at it when you have a disagreement or whatever with somebody. Like, it's just a child in an adult body trying to be an adult. That's how you have to kind of look at it.
What about going to bed angry? What do you guys feel about going to bed angry?
I sleep good, Tay.
No.
What?
I sleep good.
It just builds up for me the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could get like really. Yeah, I cannot bottle up emotions. Like I do, but when I do, it's the worst. Like I explode. So, yeah, I can't. I usually like, make up with the person, or if the person's like kind of in the wrong, like I just forgive them and move on. But if I go to sleep like that, it's just gonna bother me the next day. It's just gonna bother me next
Zara
day.
says she get a good 10 hours in.
No, I
Yeah,
can't.
at least.
What?
That's what I did. Woke up, started crying again.
Really?
Does it bother you though when you wake up the next day? Like
Oh, yeah.
on a rip, like I know you obviously probably playing when you say you sleep good, but
No,
does it
I
bother you?
really slept like a baby, woke up tight again. So like I
Same.
don't lose sleep over nothing. Thank you, God, because like rest is something that everybody takes for granted, but
Mhm.
God be granting me some rest. I be sleeping, okay? But when I wake up, yeah, I'm mad again. And then you gradually decrease with how mad you are. But
What would you say? Not in y'all lives, but what would you say in general is the hardest thing you think it is to forgive somebody for? What act?
um,
You give that
I think
maniacal laugh.
I think because we're being recorded, I'm trying to think like, what should I say?
It don't have to be personal like with y'all. Like I'm just saying in general, just in your head, what's something that you guys think on the top of your head that you cannot forgive somebody for, or you'd have a hard time forgiving them for?
I think the hardest thing that I'm gonna let you go first. Sorry.
Disloyalty.
There we go.
Don't
Yeah.
make me think something's happening that's not happening. Don't make me think that we're the best of friends if we're not. Don't make me think you have my back if you don't. Don't let me second guess you when you with a different group of people. Disloyalty. That's
a
so big.
Big thing for me. Like I have 0 people that I talk to on an everyday basis for the simple fact of like protecting myself, because there's not many loyal people out there, especially like friends wise. Like, I don't know. People are really strange.
Scary.
And I'm just trying to protect my peace. So yes, loyalty is a big thing. I don't like that.
Do you guys think protecting your peace is a lonely place?
It can be, but it depends on how you're looking at it. Like, I don't know. I'd rather this than, I'd much rather
Peace
this.
of mind.
But I'm sure you have ran into people that they want to protect their peace, but they always need to be around somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure you guys have ran into people like that.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked that question. I'm not saying you guys are like that, but I'm asking, do you believe it? It's a lonely place because of that. I've seen people have to jump from person to person, or have a friend group, then they don't have this friend group, no, and now they gotta get in with this person.
One.
You like, didn't I just see you with like 4 other friends last week?
Yeah.
Who are these new people? You know what I'm saying? So I think I honestly think that it takes a lot to be able to be by yourself. Like, I love it, but it's not, to me, it's not for everybody.
I feel like it's the opposite for me. I feel like it's easier for me to be by myself, and I kind of have to push myself to be around others. Like, I really want to have like a community and like a friend group. Like, that would be nice. So it's just really trying to push myself, and like we were talking about earlier, kind of wrapping it all together, like be able to like look past someone's flaws and like understand like they're a person, because I'm quick to stop talking to someone as soon as I get any type of weird energy from you. I'm not asking. And it's kind of toxic of me, because I wish I would have just been like, hey girl, like, what did you mean by that? What? But I just look at you. I'll never see you again. Like, in my mind, like, I'll never see you again. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That's what it is for me.
Mm-hmm. And people being around y'all, depending on who you add to your life, additions and subtractions, they also can, like you say, trigger you. Like, the residual effects you have of whatever, you could add somebody into your life and they could be super triggering.
Oh my goodness,
to your past.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the most dangerous things, in my opinion. Like, yeah, people could be fake and you're like, all right, they're fake. But when they start triggering you over something that you thought you healed from, or you were still working on healing from, that's what scares me about adding new people to my life personally.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the unknown of that.
That's literally why I don't do it. Because if you have to red flag me, Like, I don't need that. I don't need to feel people out.
Yeah.
It may be why I'm by myself, but I don't have time to feel you out and you giving me red flags. I would hope that I'm not giving you any red flags. So if
That's
you're
the
giving
part,
me
though.
some,
That's the thing, though. Like, I remember for years, and it's so sad to say, but like, I feel like up until recently, I've been trying to figure out, like, wow, there's really people that don't like me. And I just don't understand why. No, because, like,
you're not for them, though.
But, that's how everybody thinks, though. Like, how could you not like me?
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong?
That's true.
You know what I mean? So it's just
people
like,
just don't like people for no reason. It's
you
the
know,
weirdest thing in the
so
world.
That's true.
they could probably be having a weird vibe with, like, I know some people don't like my bubbliness sometimes. Some people think it's too much, so it's just like, I don't know.
Intimidation as well. There's
Mhm.
people that don't like people because they're intimidated by them.
Yeah.
Some people could walk in a room. I'm sure you've all seen people that walk in a room and you can feel their presence in the room when they just walk in the room. Some people have that, and some people are threatened by that. You know what I'm saying? They could be the nicest person in the world, but they just threatened by, damn, it's that easy for them. It's kind of like hate. It's kind of like you see somebody do well on social media, you go in the inbox, like you said, you go in the comment section, there's still a hater in that joint. It don't matter if that shit was perfect.
Was that
There's
somebody
still gonna
you
be a
knew
hater.
that was throwing shade?
No, it was just some random guy.
Okay.
Sorry about
Uh-huh.
sorry
But
about that.
everybody was so nice. It was just like a random thing. Yeah, I don't know who that was.
Yeah, you're always gonna have those.
What's the next thing? After, I know you right now, you're saying you're in like a stage of your life where you're trying to get everything together, but what is
Yeah.
the next thing music wise for you?
Honestly, coming out with a project like an EP, just to show everybody like what my sound is. So that's what I'm just been figuring out in the background, like what is my sound? Because you have an artist, you know what they're known for. You you listen to a certain artist. This is the sound you're going for.
Mm-hmm.
So me, now that I'm an artist, I'm trying to figure out what is my sound, because I have a whole bunch of recordings where it's like different genres. Like I'll have like a rock record or a pop record, or so it's just like what is my sound. So that's what's next, is the EP. That should come out soon, hopefully, if I could get past this writer's block. Like, I don't know what's going on with that, but
I want to hear all the genres. You did like a music video before, right?
I've done
Or
a
like
music. I mean, I've done the Live and a Lie and the On the Radar thing, but the music, I've never done like a
Or it
music
was-
video.
But you did like a visual to one of your songs. I feel like
I know what
I
you're talking
remember
about.
seeing it, yeah. But I was gonna say,
That was when with the mic you talking about.
no, it was like
tripping?
outside.
Yeah, that was with the mic.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Live and a
okay.
Lie, Live and a Lie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what's
yeah.
going-
But I thought it was more. I thought it was not so stationary as that. But maybe that is what I'm thinking of. But the song that you did with On the Radar, we need a visual.
I know.
Even if you have a little writer's block right
I
now,
know,
do the
yeah.
visual, put it out, let it do what it's doing.
That's true.
I want to hear that. Like, I want
That's
to.
true.
I don't know if you guys like, for people who care about what you're listening to. There's a lot of new. I don't want to call them gospel artists because I don't want you to think you're listening to Kurt Franklin.
Yeah.
But there are so many new artists, and it's like good. Sounds crazy, but they're like making drill music.
Yeah.
But it's clean drill
Yeah.
music, and it's not like they're whack artists.
No, it's
Like,
not.
I'm downloading these stuff to my phone because a lot of times I don't always want to hear all of that vulgarity in my ears. So like a lot of times I don't want to hear that stuff. So, and then especially being that I listen to reggae so much, the things that come into my head is
I
like
know.
enough.
Don't even
now.
get me
So
started.
sometimes you need to we need to hear people like you. We don't want to hear all that stuff all the time. We need to hear you. So
Okay,
you got to
yeah.
figure it out. I'm sorry.
That honestly helps a lot, because that's what's really been giving me the block, because it's like, it's not that I can't write anything. It's how should I, it's like double, like triple thinking of how I should move, especially since I'm a Christian artist. It's like, I don't want to embarrass God. Like, I'm supposed to be a role model. You know what I mean? So it's like, I want to go about it the right way. And
Don't ever think you're
Well,
gonna embarrass God.
I
Don't
know.
ever
I got
say
a question to
that.
I
that
know.
too, because it's not to
You're doing it for His glory.
I
it's
know.
not to put down what you're saying,
Yeah.
but I know I believe it's in the Bible. I could be wrong. I could be quoting it way off, and if I am, tell me.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure it almost says like, don't be ashamed of however you express your love for me, right?
That's beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you shouldn't be ashamed whether you making drill music or you making the type of music you making. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care if you just say I love God for every single bar. I feel like it's still, you know what I'm saying? To him, that's still spreading the word. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like,
Absolutely.
It's just
you
that
know,
that religious, that religious thinking
right.
that I'm
Puts
trying
you
to
in a
like
box.
break out of.
Yeah.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So
I think
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
it'd be dope. How do you feel about doing like a music video and stuff like that? Does that make you nervous, or you feel like you're
no,
creative
I'm
with that?
excited for it. Like I
Mhm.
feel like God put me on like a pause. Like he like shot me up like on the
Mhm.
radar, and then you got all these podcast interviews and stuff. And it's just like now he's like, okay, great. Now let's just work on this. And I'm just like, hold on a minute, because we were just climbing. Why are we stopping here?
Because his timing is perfect.
I know he always detouring me like, okay, let's go back here. Let's just
Letting you see the territory.
Yeah. You know what?
Come on, we going up.
Nah,
What are you
y'all
talking
really,
about? We going
y'all really
up.
talking that
That's
shit.
crazy. Yeah.
Y'all really talking that
It's
shit.
all
my
blessings.
What if you weren't doing music? I think we did. I think I had asked you this question before.
Did you?
I think if you weren't doing music, what would be your career thing? Like, would you be more into like the church with music? Like, would that be something?
If music wasn't my path, I feel like I could see myself as like a speaker.
Okay.
Yeah. He's really been developing that anointing over me, the speaking. So I definitely feel like as my music path grows, it's gonna naturally flow into speaking. So that's how I see myself. And it's so funny because God will like, just like with the whole David situation, and he had his shepherd. He was a shepherd, right, of his flock, and little did he know everything that he was doing was character development to be a king. So I'm looking at my story and I'm just seeing how like I went from social anxiety, right? And now after breaking out of the social anxiety, I'm meeting people with social anxiety. And then he's perfecting that speaking craft by me speaking to them. And now I'm here and now we're speaking. So it's just like, it's just the steps that he laid out is just wonderful, and it's perfect. So yeah, speaking, public speaking, motivational speaking, prophetic speaking. Yeah.
I don't want to make you overthink or discourage you by saying this.
Yeah.
The pastor I listen to and Zari listens to him as well. Michael Todd, he was doing producing. He was producing music before, and that's all he wanted to do.
Right.
Before God told him, put this shit aside. Excuse me. Put
He
this
ain't
stuff
say that.
aside.
He didn't say that.
I knew he was
God
gonna be
ain't
like,
saying
excuse
shit.
me.
Yeah, excuse me. Put this stuff aside and go be a pastor. Do you feel at any point of now the block that you hit that God is also doing that with you?
I think he's doing it right now. Yeah, I think that's what he's doing. Like, it's just so crazy. It's so crazy that you're even saying that right now, because I was outside. Oh, it's hard. I was outside. I was outside. I was smoking, but that's why I was like,
right, girl. It's all right, girl.
And
everything
yeah.
in moderation. It doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
But yeah, I'm sitting and I'm just like, okay, like, what are you doing right now? Like, we did this whole music thing, but now I find myself journaling and speaking more about like this whole podcast journey. I'm like, what am I focused on right now? And it feels like my mind keeps focusing on the speaking, and I'm just like, wait, no, like, we just started here. Like, I was on the radar. Like, what do you mean?
Right.
We're supposed to keep going? And I just feel like he's taking me and dropping me somewhere else. So it's absolutely hilarious that you said that, because how dare you confirm it on this podcast right now?
And I agree with that. But the thing that I know is that I feel like Pastor Todd, he didn't get to put any music out. I feel like God may not want you to get totally focused on that one thing because he has so many things planned for you.
Right.
But I'm not going to say it's not. I think people are going to see you through that music. Like,
Yeah.
trust me, do the visual, okay?
And
God is telling me to tell you to do the visual.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and the one thing about Pastor Tyler is, he did, he pastors, but now he's starting to put back out music.
Oh,
now he's
really?
back into it.
Yeah,
So
Okay.
he's
he's
doing
back into it.
everything.
So
And
you
his-
never know. Like she's
Yeah.
saying,
That's funny.
he
His
could be
music
leading
is
you down this
fire.
path of talking and speaking and doing podcasts and really preaching the word. And all of a sudden, a couple years down the line, or maybe a couple months down the line, it's like, all right, now it's back to work.
Yeah,
On
life
top of
is
what you're doing.
just-
Yeah, I think we can use all our gifts, though. I don't think we have to like limit ourselves to one
facts.
gift.
Yeah.
I think God could do beyond anything we're thinking he's gonna do. We think it's one thing, he's turning it up. So yeah.
Yeah,
Nah.
life is just so much more complex than we make it out to be. Like we think we're supposed to be in just like this little area. Oh my gosh, I was listening to something today and it was just like, would you like your past self, the things that you listen to, who you expected to be, and then your future self, like who you are now, you wouldn't even, some people don't really think or see past where they are and like how much they could change, and it's just, I don't know, I'm shocked and I'm just looking forward to everything that he has planned for me in the future because things are already changing. I already changed, so I can't even imagine me changing more. So it's just like, yeah, there's no telling what he's got in store for me or anyone for that matter.
And it's gonna be roadblocks always. Like it's a part of life. You're gonna fall off the track, but you just gotta figure out your way to get back going. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna be. I mean, that's just life. Like that's part of life. We always get on that good track, and then we fall off, and we gotta get back on because it could be our decisions, or it could just be life be lifing.
Life do be life.
Obviously, everything happens for a reason. Like you said, you got confirmation maybe, but you should definitely use all your strengths for the good.
It's a lot. Like
For
I feel
sure.
like everybody has multiple hobbies and what they're into and gifts. It's like what do we focus on first? Because we're not multitaskers. We're not multitaskers at heart. We have to focus on one thing at a time. As much as you try to make it seem like, oh, I could do this and this and this. No, you literally have to focus on one thing at a time. So it's like figuring out how to do that on a day-to-day basis.
But you know that too. And some people do hobbies and it's not their gift. And they're not using their gift. You know what I'm saying? There's people out there right now that are doing hobbies and stuff like that, but that's not what God really called them to do. So I think, I'm sure you're still in the process of probably figuring out what God's called you to do, but I feel like you also know. Like deep down,
Yeah.
Same thing with Zari. I feel like y'all both really know.
I think the big part about it, and something that I want to obviously lean into deeper, but the big part about it, I think, is while you say we're not multitaskers, we know what our one purpose is, and not to get too preachy, but it's to worship God.
Yeah.
So seek ye first the kingdom. You're doing that. So writer's block, please. Please, okay? Because if you're doing that, not trying to multitask, and you're doing what he said to do, all these other things will be added onto you. So I think that's what I really be trying to focus on. Even when I think like, oh, I could do this, I could do this, I could do that. Let me get in my word real quick and just relax. We can't plan everything. We can't know everything. So it's exhausting trying to figure out what's next.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of what got me in the season in the first place, is because I was so much after everything. Everything dropped. I kind of was in like a do mindset. Like, okay, what's next? What's this? But I wasn't making time to like go back to the source. So it's like,
like
always
halted
making time. Because we're just, as people, we kind of like push in society to that like work, grind mentality. And it's like so exhausting. I hate that. I hate the way that makes me feel. Like I like to be present in every moment. I'm learning to be present every moment because,
the society we live in is what's next. A lot of us is what's next. We just accomplished this, but we can't enjoy it. So what's next? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what you did was huge. Like on the radio, it's huge. You know, but I get it. Like when you accomplish something, you like.
Yeah, because
it
you're
kind of
like,
gets you hungry to be like, I could do something bigger.
you know, should I stay in this path?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what am I doing next? Like, I gotta keep it coming. That's what was on my mind. Like, gotta keep it coming. Gotta keep it coming.
What's a dream platform you'd love to be on?
A dream platform I like to be on? Ooh, a tiny desk would be nice. I don't know if that's like a dream, but that's what I thought of right now. Like a nice tiny desk would be nice. Like a worship session. That would
you
be nice.
fit there.
That would be fun.
So, yeah.
Tiny desk up next.
That would be nice, yeah.
Is there anything, I know obviously right now you're in the season, right? But is there anything that you want to kind of give anybody that, you know, is a fan of you, something that they could look forward to? Or is it something that you really just want to keep secret and you want to keep
coming out?
Could just be coming out or just ideas. It don't have to be something that's coming out right this second, maybe some ideas. And if you don't want to give it anything,
yeah, as far as music goes, I've been like really trying to cultivate like a idea to do worship sessions. Like you know, like when you go to church and you have the worship moment or whatever, or sometimes like if you pray, you put on worship music just to get everybody in that like state of rest, because I've noticed that the things that he's teaching me is mostly for other people too. So like we were just saying, like learning how to stay in the state of rest. That's where I kind of want to promote and get people into. So that's what I feel like you should be looking forward to next when it comes to me and my music is, you know, just worship sessions. So I just have to learn and figure out how I want to do that.
I love that. Zari gonna be over there knocking on your door. We gotta get the visual done.
Yo, my head is going crazy right now. Are you looking to do that like just by yourself or the worship sessions?
No.
Do y'all remember? I don't know if y'all listened to Maverick City, but during COVID, when they were outside and just like on basketball courts.
Oh, and they're singing. Yeah.
That is fire. Like worship sessions. Like I grew up like going to prayer meeting and stuff like that during the week. And it's honestly something I want to get back into, but I don't necessarily want to go to my church to do like I have no problem like going in, but if it could be something where like I'm vibing with my people, it'll probably mean a little bit.
Yeah, like that's kind of what I don't know, like he just got me thinking like real big. Like I want to do something like for the community, especially like Quorum. It's a mess. Like I need to get it together.
We need that. We need prayer over this city.
Yeah, like if we could just have like worship sessions and like have everybody get together, share testimonies, prayer sessions, things like that. Just kind of like bringing it into our community and seeing what it could blossom out of everybody, you know. Yeah.
I got a drone.
Nice. Huh?
I got a drone and summer's coming up. So
oh, that would be nice.
Stop playing around.
I'm
serious.
Like if we could get everyone together,
that
would be really nice.
That would be really dope.
That's fire.
That would.
And it's getting nice out. Yeah.
The drone is definitely. Still think you should do the podcast.
I think so too.
Still think you should do that.
I think so too. I've been writing like names. I actually was writing like names and stuff the other day, and like I actually have a couple episodes written down. It's just the action.
That's where it starts.
It's just
That's where it starts though.
Nice.
Yeah. So
write them all down. Write titles down. Write them all down because when you're ready, then you can really get to work with that.
Yeah. So he's just getting me started. Definitely.
We're excited. We're definitely excited. Listen, this was part 2. We love having you as a guest.
Thank you.
It's always a blessing.
Have me again.
Absolutely. It's always a blessing. We look forward to your music, to everything, really, just to speaking in general.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you. So thank you for being here again.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you for being my first podcast. It's so encouraging.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Just before, I want to say before you leave, just let everybody know where they can find you.
So I'm on Instagram, imaniB.123. And that's pretty much where I'm at. I need to have like a bunch more like different socials and stuff, but if you want to find me, that's where I am. It's a nice humble page. You could DM me. I'll see you and I respond. So yes, that's where you can find me.
Love that. And where do they find your music?
You can find it on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. It's everywhere.
Awesome. We love that. We love that. Thank you so much again.
Thank
And
you.
that's another episode of the Culture Shout Podcast.
That was nice.